Thank you, Alec. I hope I get residuals for all those proposal scenes you have in your dreams. Or I hope I get an extra bump if they have a happy ending. That was a joke. Thanks to Family Equality Council for asking me to be a part of this great night. It's so wonderful to see so many family and friends in the same room. I'm thrilled to be here to present this special honor to Dr. Virginia Uribe. As Blaine on Glee, my character experiences a life as a gay teen in a Midwest high school, and while there's the occasional slushy to the face, in general, it's a place where gay youth can be who they are. Back in the 80s, when Virginia was a counselor and science teacher at Fairfax High School here in Los Angeles, there was virtually no support for LGBT youth. After witnessing the plight of a student who had been kicked out of 4 different high schools because of bullying and sexual harassment, Virginia bravely founded Project 10 in 1984 as a dropout prevention program for LGBT youth in the Los Angeles School District. The program offers technical and educational support to schools for LGBT youth. Virginia's vision was to ensure safe, supportive, and welcoming campuses. As if that weren't already enough, Virginia began throwing, and I love this, an annual gay and lesbian prom so that the LGBT kids in town could have a safe space to experience this high school ritual that was probably the best dressed prom in town. Because of her pioneering work, the gay prom is no longer needed in LA, as LGBT kids are now much more welcomed in their own schools and can choose to experience the... That's right. They are now safe to experience the wonderful tradition of hideous rented tuxes, embarrassing photo ops with parents, and those awkward corsage pinning moments along with their other classmates. Please join me in congratulating this year's Family Equality Council awardee, Virginia Uribe.
And thank you to the Family Equality Council. It's great to be placed between a football player and a network TV, so thank you very much for this honor. And thank you to all of you here this evening, all the parents, all the children, all of you who have chosen to live your lives openly and with love and with dignity and respect. Congratulations to all of you. It's difficult to remember things are happening so fast now. So it's difficult to remember what things were like back in the 80s when Project 10 first broke the silence around LGBT issues. When word got out that a group of students were meeting at Fairfax High School to discuss anti-gay harassment, there was a big outcry. Remember, this was the 80s. Immediately, the Traditional Values Coalition descended and attacked Project 10. The then Archbishop Roger Mahoney didn't like it, said it was an example of social engineering, misguided attempt at social engineering. The 75 members of the California State Legislature wrote to the state superintendent of schools asking him to drop the program. And the State Education Assembly made a move to stop all of the money coming into the LA Unified School District unless we stop the Project 10 program. But my favorite was Senator Jesse Helms calling the principal of Fairfax High, wanting to know if there was any money in the program. The principal's answer to Jesse Helms, and this was the answer from the Board of Education to all the critics, was that we were public educators and we served all students. And that simple answer was the answer given at that time. Through it all, the Los Angeles Unified School District, I know they're criticized for a lot of things, but the LA Unified School District always stood firmly behind Project 10 and supported it, and continue to do so to this day. As a result of all the attacks in the 80s, LGBT issues began to take central stage, and gay-straight alliances began to form. Thanks to the Equal Access Act of 1984, the gay-straight alliances began to form, and now there are over, at last count, think there are over 3,500 GSAs throughout the United States, with 800 in California alone. And to complete this circle, a couple of years ago, a young gay man was elected prom queen at Fairfax High School with an overwhelmingly supportive student body who probably would not have ever understood what all the fuss was about back in the 80s. So things have come around full circle as far as that goes, but there's still much work to do. The anti-gay bullying still exists in our schools. The ongoing tragedy of youth suicide is something that is close to all of us. The harsh rhetoric of all the public figures and the cowardice of school administrators, all of those things make our work more difficult, but it's work that we must continue. One can only speculate what the future is going to bring. With the expansion of civil rights, things are moving certainly in the right direction, but again, there's much work to be done. Mostly, though, the important thing is that LGBT parents now are free to give their children the love that these children need to be members of a complete family. And that's what we're here for today. In closing, I'd like to repeat the words of Martin Luther King Jr., which are so true for our community today. He said, "The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. It's bending our way now, but we have got to get there and keep it moving in the direction that it's going." Thank you again, Family Equality Council, and all of you.
Thank you, Virginia. Bend that arc of justice, girl. Bend it. Gay-straight alliance is so important in our high schools. We had a gay-straight alliance in my high school, only back then we called it drama club. Bend that arc, girl. Bend it. And now, please welcome two wonderfully funny and talented comedic actors. First, an Emmy Award and multi-SAG Award-winning actor who gained recognition for his groundbreaking work in Will and Grace. And the Tony-nominated and Grammy-winning actor currently on HBO's Girls, as well as the NBC comedy The New Normal, Sean Hayes and Andrew Rannels.
Hello, thank you, Alec. You look great tonight, and so do you, Andrew.
So do you.
Thank you.
Yes. I forgot we're reading things. I got distracted because it looks like we're on Laughing, if you look at the monitor.
With the exact same set.
Right, a little bit?
Yeah.
All right.
It's going very well.
It's going well. Now I'm reading. I just want to thank also E, who is running the teleprompter backstage. She's doing a lovely job. It's a very difficult job. I just want to acknowledge her.
You can probably skip that opening joke now.
Yes. Okay. So, by the way, Sean, I loved you in Promises.
Oh, wow. I loved you in Book of Mormon.
You did?
Yeah.
Well, I know I speak for both of us when I say thank you to the Family Equality Council for asking us to be here tonight.
Yes, and we're lucky to have here tonight the powerhouse of talent behind your show, The New Normal, Ryan Murphy, and Allie Adler.
Yes,
And to Ryan, congrats on your new beautiful boy, Louie.
and I see the brilliant creator of Will and Grace, Matt Bushnick. Because honestly, we couldn't be doing what we were doing on The New Normal if you had not done what you and Max had done on Will and Grace. So we're very grateful for that.
Thank you, Andrew. If you only knew who I did to do what I did at NBC, then you do as I say, not do who I tell.
I get it. Now I get it.
But thank you, Andrew. I appreciate that. But it didn't just start with me. I like to think it started with a little gay bar called Cheers. Let's take a look at it.
There's no clip. There's no clip.
Just gonna take a look at it.
No, there's no clip. Actually,
Oh, what about a clip of Cosby?
Cosby Show.
No clip of Cosby.
No, so tonight we would like to thank the talented actors, writers, and directors, and producers, and the network executives who helped shape close to 2 decades of programming that featured gay characters, gay relationships, and gay families having kids.
And that's why we're proud to present this award to Bob Greenblatt on behalf of NBC for almost 20 years of portraying grounded, honest, and truthful LGBT characters. This is going so smooth. Bob is a personal friend of mine, and while straight, has been known to enjoy the occasional reach around from time to time.
I consider Bob a friend as well.
Yeah, but I probably known Bob just a little bit longer. So he's been a huge supporter of Todd's and mine, and one of the main reasons there's success in my life.
Me too.
Yep, and I have him on my speed dial.
I could get him on the phone right now.
All right, well, good luck.
Bob Greenblatt, please.
You're not holding a phone, so. And he's just like right there.
Bob Greenblatt, way to yes and me, by the way.
I feel so honored and privileged to stand here right now alongside the beautiful and improvisational Andrew to be giving Bob this award. The LGBT community is very lucky to have him on our side. Please join me in welcoming the president of NBC Entertainment, Bob Greenblatt.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Sean and Andrew. I'm very happy to be here tonight. As Sean said, I've known him for a number of years. I'm so happy that he and his partner Todd are producing a hit show for us right now called Grimm. They also produce shows all over the place at other networks, and they're going to be producing a new show for us, a new reality show in the future. And I'm also very happy that in a few weeks we're going to be doing a pilot starring Sean Hayes and Linda Lavin. And hopefully we'll bring Sean back to television on a weekly basis, playing a gay character again. Surprise, surprise, right? I think, Sean, I've known you, so long, back to the time when you still wanted people to think you were straight. I think that was 11 or 12 months ago. No. I'm very honored to be here and to accept this award on behalf of NBC. I'm also proud and humbled to be the current custodian of a television network with the tradition of groundbreaking inclusiveness, as you saw in those clips, and a legacy of celebrating diversity that well precedes me. Shows like Julia, which not only presented the first African-American lead on television, if you can believe that, but the first single parent as well. Or The Cosby Show, Will and Grace, Friends, ER, the list goes on and on. I think we've come a long way from Tony Randall's portrayal of Sidney Shore, a single man living with a female friend and her child in the 1981 NBC series Love, Sidney, all the way to Andrew Rannels and Justin Bartha's portrayals of Brian and David on The New Normal. 2 men in a loving, committed relationship, in this case with a female friend who is actually the proud surrogate mother of their child. Seems like a relatively small story tweak, but that evolution took 30 years in coming. And at the end of the day, that is really not acceptable. Network television doesn't have to promote a particular agenda, but it does have to be relevant and honest, and I believe it should reflect the truth about who we are, how we live, and what our families are like, and all their similarities and differences, in all their beauty, humor, dysfunction, and inevitably greatness. There's really no risk in being relevant. The risk, at least in television, is in being irrelevant. Being relevant isn't just good art and entertainment, it's good business. It's the only way to make television compelling in our ever more fractured world. Relevance is why white audiences embraced The Cosby Show, and straight audiences loved Will and Grace. And diverse audiences have responded to shows like Modern Family, or 6 Feet Under, or The New Normal. I'm also challenged today as a TV executive to do better, to continue to develop television programming that is reflective of all of our lives, and is emotionally true and relevant. Television can't do everything to position how we should be looking at ourselves, but it is a medium with incredible power in terms of reach and cultural impact. I'm actually disheartened by all the pessimism and snarkiness that seems to define our culture at this moment. If you read anything written about television these days, or any aspect of our culture really, you know what I mean. We live in tough economic times, and now we have to be worried about our kids when they're at school. Or we're a little more guarded ourselves when we go to the mall or to a movie theater. Isn't it time for everyone to pull together? As the world continues to grow more cynical and more fearful, our families only become more and more vital. How are our kids being taught to look at the world and to look at their fellow human beings, whether they be white, black, gay, handicapped, or just plain different? Most of the job lands on us, the teachers, the parents, and the leaders, and that's how it should be. But who isn't grateful for a little help once in a while? And that's where the Family Equality Council comes in. I applaud this group and all its work on behalf of the children and parents of LGBT families, and in turn for all families. You advance the idea of inclusiveness. What an incredible service that will help shape the lives of so many people right down at the cellular level. I started by talking about how television needs to be relevant. I'm proud to say that's NBC's legacy, but it's also the work that we all continue to do every day. And many people deserve credit for it. From the courageous actors like Sean Hayes and Andrew Rannels and Justin Bartha, and the list goes on, to the groundbreaking creators of these shows like Ryan Murphy, Max Muchnick, David Cohan, Liz Brixius, and I'm happy to say that list goes on too. I salute the Family Equality, and I thank you for this award on NBC's behalf, but I also join with you in working towards a day when these awards will actually be irrelevant, because the notion of family and the portrayal of families within our culture will be truly reflective of our diverse and hopefully uplifting and optimistic society. I thank you very much, and looking at that monitor, I feel like I've just spent a little bit of time in Liberace's guest house. For those of you too young in the room to know who Liberace was, Google it, it was great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andrew, Sean, Bob. We're so thrilled to tell you as we wrap up the evening that with the power of all of you in this room, we have raised, just from the ask alone this evening, over $80,000. Which is amazing. And you want to tell the grand total?
The total amount was $465,000.
It's amazing. Thank you all so much for that. We cannot thank you enough, but we can give you dessert. But before we do,
Oh, and dessert is inside.
dessert is inside, not outside. Too cold. Somebody lost their keys.
This is not a bit, by the way.
I'm gonna start. No, you screwed up my joke. I was gonna start the bidding at $10,000. It's a Lexus and the keys to a really cool. Okay. I know it's over.
Somebody did lose their
Lexus
keys,
with
though.
and this is the kind of keychain that pulls apart. And okay, well anyway, I have them, so I'm gonna be here at table 6. If you don't come, I'll be in your car tonight. Okay, so thank you all so much. Thank you. I hope.